This is Algebra Lesson 10.2, Translating Graphs. We have 4 different transformations that we're going to be able to apply to the 4 different functions that we talked about in the last lesson. The first transformation will be the translation. But before I talk about translations, I want to know what a transformation is. So a transformation is changing a graph or a function. In this case, we're going to be doing graphs of functions. By either sliding, turning, flipping, or stretching. Okay, so a translation is specifically a slide. When I take my original function and I slide it to a new location, sliding it up or down or left or right, that's called a translation. And the way we slide a graph or slide a function is by using addition and subtraction. So if I have a function and I add or subtract a value, it's going to slide the graph left and right. If it's in the parentheses with the x, and if I add or subtract outside of the parentheses, it's going to slide up and down. And so basically we're going to substitute different numbers in for h and in for k to slide the graph around, and f for function, the function can change depending on which one of our 4 original functions we're looking at. So a linear function, the parent function was y equals x. Well, if I add or subtract in the parentheses, it'll slide my line left and right, and if I add or subtract outside the parentheses, it'll slide my line up and down. And keep these in mind, subtraction goes to the left, or no, subtraction goes to the right and addition goes to the left. And if I add and subtract where k is, it's going to move it up and down. Adding goes up and subtracting goes down. My exponential function basic form was 2 to the power of x. Well, if I add or subtract with the h, it's going to go left and right. Add or subtract with the k, it's going to go up and down. My basic form of the quadratic function was y equals x squared. I'm going to leave a little space here because if I want to move it left and right, that's how I can move it left and right. And up and down goes right there. And my absolute value function was the bars, and left and right inside, up and down outside. So moving it to the left, remember, is going to be a minus, and to the right is going to be a plus. That's backwards from what you would expect because you think minus is going to go in the negative direction. But up and down is exactly what you expect. Up is a plus and down is a minus. And just remember, inside for left and right, outside for up and down. Okay, so let's try to apply some of these. The first one says, what's the parent function for y equals, for a linear function? And we have that in the box. I'm going to simplify it by just saying y equals x, because technically I'm moving it left and right 0, and I'm moving it up and down 0, so that's going to go right through the origin. If I want to take that graph and move it 4 units up, let me go back so I can see that at the same time. If I want to make it go 4 units up, basically I should need a plus 4 in place where that k is. I'm not putting anything where the h is because it doesn't go left or right at all. So my new graph then is going to be a line, but it's 4 units up instead of right through the center. If I want to go 2 units right and 3 units down, two units to the right means I do minus 2 where the h is. 3 units down means a minus 3 where the k is. So then my graph is going to be 2 units to the right and 3 units down. It's the same line that was going through the origin, but now it's going through that point. Oops, I did that one wrong. It's going through this point instead, 2 units over, 3 units down. And the last one is 1 unit to the left, and then 2 units up. So I can make that line move or translate anywhere I want to by adding and subtracting in different places in the equation. I'm going to go back to the exponential function. My parent function for my exponential function is y equals 2 to the x. Doesn't go up or down at all, so this h is 0 and this k is 0. And I have that exponential function. If I want to make that whole graph move 4 units up, I'm going to add a 4 where that k is. So instead of going through near the bottom, it's going to go through where the 4 is. And I'm kind of running out of space, but you can imagine that's going up right there. I'm just going to fill these out very quickly because it kind of really does the same exact thing. If I want to go 2 units to the right, it's a -2, and 3 units down, it's a -3. If I want to go 1 unit to the left, it's a +1 where the h is, and 2 units up, it's a +2 where the k is. In all of my different formats, it's the same thing. +4 where the k is to go up, -2 where the h is to go to the left, +3 where the k is to go up, +1 where the h is to go to the left, +2 where the k is to go up. I noticed a mistake on this one. It's down, so it should be a minus. But every one of these, you're replacing h with my horizontal component, replacing k with my vertical component. Right is minus, left is plus, up is plus, down is minus. And we just change the symbols to show me different shapes. So the difference between this linear equation and this quadratic equation is the power 2. The x plus 1 is the same, the plus 2 is the same, this power 2 is different, and that is going to still move 1 left, 2 up, but it's going to give me a U shape where the bottom of the U is at that point, as opposed to the line where the line went through the point. And I can do the same thing with the absolute value function, where it's going to go 1 over and 2 up, but the bottom of the V is going to be at that point, instead of the bottom of the U, or instead of the line, or instead of, I didn't do this one, the exponential version. So, if you want to copy this all down really quickly, you can. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Otherwise, that's really, hopefully, all you need. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.